Well, hello there, and welcome to this week's Q&A, live AMA, where you can have the opportunity to ask me the questions that may have come to your mind when you have seen different posts and videos and reels that I have shared in regards to the digital marketing program that I'm part of. But it doesn't have to be exclusively about that. It can also be in connection with other things that I have potentially shared about over the last few months. So, when I found out about this opportunity, I had been looking for something, and I wanted to bring in an online income, increase what I was already doing, and find something that just felt really in alignment with me. And I did initially look at a variety of different things. I looked at job opportunities, work from home opportunities. I wanted something work from home because I don't have a vehicle, and it takes quite a bit of time to get to and from jobs in a lot of cases. So trying to find something relatively close to me, really limited my options. And the challenge with the work from home opportunities is that even if you're looking at these different job sites, whether it's through LinkedIn or Facebook or through websites that are specifically about that, there was a lot of questionable stuff that was posted. And, some of it was not always job related. Some of it was supposed to be an actual work for yourself opportunity as well. But having been, I guess, duped by some of these opportunities, there was a little bit of skepticism and doubt that ended up being created in my mind. And I was really wondering, is there even really anything out there that is legitimate? And maybe you've wondered the same thing as well. And, you've been trying to search for something to bring in an income to help, maybe have more money at the end of the month instead of living paycheck to paycheck, or to be able to create more time freedom for yourself, or maybe your loved one your partner is working extra hard and you want to be able to give them a break. Whatever it might be for you, you might have been searching for something as well. And, there's so many people who are looking for part-time jobs on top of their full-time jobs, these side hustles and all of these different things. But it can be really, really difficult to sustain that for a long period of time. We've only got so many hours in a day, and we can only do so much. Our bandwidth is only so large or so wide, or however you want to call it. And, there's going to be a point where if we're not able to change our situation so that we're not having to work so hard and burn the candles at both ends, we will eventually burn out. It's just a guarantee. You will eventually burn out. We're not superhuman. We're not these beings who can just keep going and going and going, like the Energizer Bunny kind of thing, where it just doesn't stop, you know. And, so I really was trying to find something where I could find that break. I found it very challenging to work the 8-hour workday, which, ultimately is not 8 hours because you have to get there early. And then, by the time you get yourself ready to go and stuff like that, it's plus your breaks and that, it usually ends up being more like 9 hours. And then for me, well, for a lot of people, you've got the transportation added on top of that. So then you've got more like a 10-hour or 11-hour day. And then you come home and then you're supposed to try and cook, prepare a meal, and you're supposed to look after your kids, or, spend time with your loved ones, or, maybe you even want to try and do some of the things that you enjoy, like whatever it might be. Maybe it's sewing, or maybe it's playing some kind of sport, or going to shows, whatever it might be. You might be wanting to try and do that kind of stuff, or go to the gym, or doing some kind of exercise or something. And when we're trying to do all of these things every single day, it's exhausting. I know, at least for me, I found that exhausting, and it was not sustainable. I could not maintain that. And I eventually ended up developing adrenal fatigue. Now, I don't really like to attach to labels very much. So I usually try not to really talk about that. But it's just basically, I ended up going into a state of extreme exhaustion, and I lost interest in doing things because I was just too tired to do things. And I've still never fully recovered my energy up to this point. And that was back in 2016, I think, that started to happen. So, these kind of health effects can have long-term consequences. And maybe there's many of you out there as well who are suffering from some kind of a health condition too that is making it difficult for you to work outside of the home, or if you can work outside of the home, not for very many hours. So, I just kept kind of looking. I was also still applying for jobs here and there that I felt that I was qualified for. But I really got frustrated with that game, because that's pretty much what it felt like to me. It felt like a game. You had to dot your I's and cross your T's in all the right places in order to be able to even get connected to an interview. And I just didn't have the bandwidth for that. So I just tried to keep myself open to different things. And eventually I ended up coming across a Facebook post from one of my connections who was sharing her experience and journey in the program that I'm in. And, there's a lot of these different opportunities that are being presented out there. Some of them are legitimate. Some of them, it's hard to say. They may or may not be, but, I get that it can be really challenging to understand or to really know when something is real, especially when it sounds really, really, really good, because we're not programmed to believe in things that are really, really, really good. We are programmed to believe we have to work really hard and put in a ton of hours and sacrifice and all of this kind of stuff in order to earn an income. And that's just not really true, especially nowadays when we are in the digital world. There are so many opportunities with digital products, with courses, with memberships, with all of these different things. And it's no longer a requirement to have to exchange time for money or have to work yourself to the bone. And when I came across this post and she was talking about the different aspects of it, you didn't need to have any tech skills to start in this program. You didn't need to have any prior experience. And I know that there are other scam opportunities that say similar kinds of things. And, it's also designed to be done in 2 hours, and you get a pre-built system that you just have to tweak to personalize for yourself. And you get a community that is behind you that you get to be a part of, which is over 43,000 members now, I think. But I think the thing that makes this different from the ones that end up being more the scam type is that they make this promise that, just work 2 to 4 hours a day and you will make $500, $1,000, or whatever it is that they say every day. And we will train you, and, the stuff is very simple. But it's more the promise of how much money you are going to make every day. That to me I've discovered is really the key, because nobody can make that promise. I mean, yeah, a job can make a promise of, okay, you're going to earn so much per hour if you show up and do the work for this many hours. There's that. But, there's an expectation of how much time you have to put in and how much work you have to be putting in. And it's not set up to, like, they don't make it sound like, it's so simple. And it's like, oh yeah, all you have to do is click these buttons and then you'll get like $1,000 a day or something like that. It's never that simple. It's, there's effort that's being put into it. Whereas with these scams, they make it sound like, oh, you don't really have to do much. So with our program, we don't make a guarantee. Our program is a learn to earn program. So you have the opportunity to earn $100 to $900 a day, depending on which program you invest in and which ones you're selling or promoting to others. And, you can make that as a daily sale. If you sold a $900 program every single day, that's like something like $6,300 or something like that a month. So that's pretty substantial, but there's no guarantee of that. What would end up making the difference on whether you are going to be able to do that is whether or not you actually plug into the training that is there for you, which is some of it's pre-recorded and set up for the program, and some of it is new that is continually added in. So there's, like right now we have this 90-day challenge, and this is new training that's coming in. So we get a training lesson every single day for 90 days with the intention of being able to earn up to $20,000 by the end of December. But again, that's not a guarantee. It's whether or not we follow all the steps, we plug in, we're willing to be coachable, and mindset is also such a big aspect of it. This is one of the things that I am really, really learning about, is the mindset, because not only do you have to believe in the program, and not only do you have to be willing to plug in and implement what you're learning in that, but you have to be able to believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing. Believe in the value, believe in the ability, your ability to be able to earn any amount, certain amounts of income. So our community shows that there is a wide variety of beliefs, as well as the amount of implementation that is getting put in. Because we've got some people who are struggling to earn any kind of income, and they're just like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And then we've got other people who are earning 6-7 figures. And I try to avoid comparing myself to anybody else, because we're all in different places. Our journeys are all going to be different. Our experiences are all going to be different. And some of us have to learn more skills than others. Some of us have had less experience or less skills in the past before joining. And there's all of these different things that play in, but I still really love what this program offers. I love that it's designed to be done in a 2-hour workday. Because you're focusing on the income producing activities. That doesn't mean that you don't have anything else that you would work on throughout the day. You might, especially when it's stuff like organizational kind of things, or maybe tracking statistics or things like that. That would be extra on top of that. But the actual income producing activities is designed to be done within 2 hours. And then, this is so beginner friendly, because it doesn't matter where you start. You have a step-by-step process that takes you by the hand and walks you through every step of the process, getting your system set up, getting your domain name set up, getting your email set up, learning how to create social media content, learning how to identify who your audience is, who you really want to speak to. Because some people try to speak to everyone, and it's really important for us to learn who we specifically want to speak to, because that's the only way we're going to be able to fully resonate. So this has been a very interesting journey for me. And, I love the community that is behind it. I love that if I'm having, maybe mindset challenges, or if I'm having some skill set kind of challenges, and that I can go into the community and ask for support. And there, all of the wins that are shared in it, it really helps to uplift all of us to see what is really possible. And this, and these challenges that we have, like the 90-day challenge I mentioned, I find the training is just so phenomenal. And I'm so happy that I found this opportunity, because the skills that we learn is so important nowadays, because unless you're working for somebody where you don't have to do any social media stuff, you need to learn how to utilize social media effectively. So whether you have your own business already, whether you are doing an MLM, or if you've got a physical-based business, whether real estate or dentist or whatever it might be, it's like, it doesn't matter what kind of business you might already have, or if you just have the strong desire to start a business, get into business for yourself. These skills are essential. And I know that I can apply what I am learning to any business that I am doing. So, if you have any questions about what I shared today, if you want to learn more about the program, if you want to learn more about the challenge that I mentioned, or about our community, or any of these kinds of things, or just even more about my own journey and experiences, I invite you to ask me questions in the comments. And let me know where you are. Where are you in your journey? Are you in a place where you're looking for something to shift in your life? Is it time for something to change? Because the thing is that if we keep doing what we've always been doing, we're going to just keep getting what we've always been getting. And maybe this opportunity speaks to you, maybe it doesn't. But I'm very happy to answer any questions that you might have that might clear up any doubts, or offer more clarity to you. So yeah, just put your questions, your comments in the comments, and I would love to connect with you.